Hi guys, today I want to talk to you about reading cards. There's lots of different ways to do it, and I just want to tell you my personal way. First off, there's a old rule that says your tarot cards must be given to you by another witch. I threw that out the window. Sometimes you don't know another witch. Sometimes you're solitary, you're the only one in your family, you don't have any other friends, and you're just going it alone and learning the best you can. So you can't have someone give you a set. And besides, even if they did, they might not know what speaks to you. You've got to find the deck that really calls to you. And you'll know by the artwork, by the what's on the outside, the labels. You'll know by the pictures that they show, whether it's oracle cards or tarot cards. There are so many different ones, and you have to have the ones that call to you. And it doesn't have to be tarot, it could be oracle. Remember that there are many different types and varieties. True tarot are actually Christian originated. And because of that, I go with a more pagan deck, and I use the shapeshifter deck. And the goddess comes first in that deck. So everything's kind of flipped. Instead of male being dominant, female is dominant. So if you're interested in that, look that one up. I have lots of different oracle card decks, and when I do a reading, I kind of mix it up. I use tarot and oracle. And sometimes I'll use fairies, sometimes I'll use angel. I've got probably 4 or 5 different fairy decks just because I like fairies. That speaks to me. I have a Celtic tarot deck. I have the shapeshifter tarot deck. I've got lots of them, and you should too. Now, don't judge anyone if they still use the book for the translation. I still do, and I've been doing this 30 odd years. So, okay, 40 odd years. We're not counting. That just means that you can't always recognize the cards, especially if you have a lot of different decks. Nothing wrong with looking up those meanings. So if you still have to do that, there's no shame in that, okay? It doesn't mean that your reading isn't true, because it is. Now, some people will hand you the deck and let you shuffle, and you ask a specific question. And I did that when I first started. However, I quickly learned that the cards don't always like that. They didn't always cooperate, and they didn't answer that person's question. And when you do that, you have to get your deck back and cleanse it between each reading. It has to be thoroughly cleansed and charged. And how do you do that? Well, you can run your deck through the smoke of a candle or incense. You can smudge it. You can put it with an amethyst. That will cleanse your deck. To charge it, I always put it in the window during a full moon. And that charges the deck. So you don't want to have to go through that after someone's touched your deck, right? So I stopped letting anyone touch my deck. No one touches my cards but me. So what I do personally, and this is the reason for the video, is I connect to that person's, the sitter, their ancestors, their spirit guides, their guardian angels, and I ask those beings, what is the message for this person? You can think of a question if you want your ancestors or spirit guides to hear that question, but that doesn't mean that that's what they will answer. They will let you know what they want you to know. You could be asking, does this guy love me? And they're more worried about, hey, you're going to have a car wreck if you don't get your car in to be serviced. Or don't worry about that fool. Worry about your job, because your coworker's stabbing you in the back right now and you need to know. So pay attention to what is said, and don't think in your mind, oh, that didn't answer my question, because the universe may have an answer that's more important than your question. So pay attention to that. I have never, not once, not from the very first time I picked up a deck, had someone say, I don't understand any of that, or that doesn't make any sense, or that's not true. They always hit on something that's going on in their lives. And sometimes one card will come up and they'll be like, I'm not real sure what that means right now. But they'll call me later, a couple weeks, couple months down the road, and go, remember that reading? Well, I remember what you said, and you know what? Sure enough, that just came up. You know, this happened, and they'll tell me about that coworker or that guy or this job opportunity or whatever it was that that card wanted them to know about. So it will always come true. My readings are always, always true. So how do I connect? Well, people are always asking, and my answer is always the same. You've got to do a lot of meditation. You've got to really, really know how to open up those channels. And meditation is the key. So you've got to get there where you can easily open that link. And it took me a good while to be able to quickly open that link. A lot of practice. And now I can sit, open that channel, and that door just flows. And the best way to describe the feeling for me, and it may be different for everyone, is it actually feels like swirling. You know that feeling when you've had too much to drink and you're sitting there on the bed and the room is moving? It's kind of like that. So just to let you know. So pick a deck that's right for you. You can have more than one. You can have a whole collection. Cleanse them, charge them, and do your reading how you feel best. Have a great day, guys.